The story of Robin Hood, one of the most famous folk heroes, has evolved through centuries of retelling in ballads, books, and films. Here's a summary of the traditional Robin Hood legend. Setting and background. Robin Hood's story takes place in medieval England, primarily in Sherwood Forest, near the town of Nottingham. The time period is often associated with the reign of King Richard the Lionheart, late 12th century. While King Richard is away on crusades, his brother, Prince John, governs in his absence, ruling England with greed and cruelty. The unjust rule of Prince John and his corrupt officials is central to Robin Hood's tale. Robin Hood's origins. Robin Hood is usually depicted as a skilled archer and swordsman, originally a nobleman, often Robin of Locksley, who becomes an outlaw after being wronged by the authorities. In some versions, he is deprived of his lands by the Sheriff of Nottingham, and in others, he rebels against heavy taxation or injustice against the poor. The Outlaw of Sherwood Forest. Robin takes refuge in Sherwood Forest, where he forms a band of followers known as the Merry Men. The core group usually includes Little John, Robin's loyal and giant-sized second-in-command; Friar Tuck, a jolly, rebellious monk; Maid Marian, Robin's love interest, who is sometimes depicted as a noblewoman or a commoner; Will Scarlet, a quick-tempered, dashing figure with a talent for swordplay; Much, the miller's son, a faithful working-class member of the group. Stealing from the rich to give to the poor. Robin Hood and his merry men live outside the law, but they act as protectors of the poor. Their motto, "Steal from the rich and give to the poor," reflects Robin's desire to correct the injustices caused by greedy noblemen, tax collectors, and the corrupt Sheriff of Nottingham. Robin and his band ambush rich travelers passing through Sherwood Forest, particularly targeting those aligned with Prince John and the Sheriff. They redistribute their wealth to the suffering common people of England. The Sheriff of Nottingham. The Sheriff of Nottingham is Robin Hood's main antagonist. He is a symbol of corrupt authority and often tries to capture or kill Robin. In many tales, the sheriff sets traps for Robin, offering rewards for his capture, but Robin always outwits him, often humiliating the sheriff in the process. Maid Marian. Maid Marian is depicted as Robin's love interest. She is a strong and capable woman, often helping Robin in his struggles against the sheriff and Prince John. In some versions, she is of noble birth, putting her at odds with the authorities who view Robin as a criminal. Loyalty to King Richard. Robin Hood is loyal to King Richard the Lionheart, who is often portrayed as a just and noble ruler, in contrast to his brother Prince John. Robin's hope is that King Richard will return from the Crusades and restore justice to England. In many versions of the legend, the story ends with Richard returning, pardoning Robin for his crimes, and restoring him to his rightful place as a nobleman. The death of Robin Hood. In some stories, Robin Hood meets a tragic end. He falls ill and is betrayed by the Prioress of Kirklees, who is sometimes described as his cousin. She lets his blood as a medical treatment, but drains too much, causing his death. As he dies, Robin shoots an arrow from his bow, asking to be buried where the arrow lands. Themes and legacy. The story of Robin Hood endures because of its themes of justice, fairness, and standing up against tyranny. It represents the eternal struggle between the oppressed and their oppressors, with Robin Hood symbolizing the hope that even the powerless can challenge the powerful. Though the historical basis for Robin Hood is uncertain, he remains an enduring figure of English folklore, representing the ideal of a hero who fights for the downtrodden and brings justice to the land.